Stars have fascinating life cycles that depend on their mass. Let's explore the stages in the life and eventual death of stars. Stellar birth. Stars begin their lives as clouds of gas and dust called nebulae. These nebulae can be triggered to collapse under the influence of gravity, leading to the formation of a protostar. Main sequence. The main sequence is the longest stage in a star's life, during which it fuses hydrogen atoms into helium in its core. This fusion process releases an enormous amount of energy, providing the star with a stable equilibrium between gravity's inward pull and the outward pressure from nuclear reactions. The duration of this stage depends on the star's mass, with more massive stars having shorter lifetimes. Red giant/supergiant. As a star exhausts its hydrogen fuel in the core, it undergoes changes. Low to medium mass stars like our Sun expand and become red giants, while high mass stars become supergiants. During this phase, the outer layers of the star expand and cool, causing the star to increase in size. Planetary nebula or supernova. In the red giant/supergiant phase, the core of the star continues to shrink and heat up. In low to medium mass stars, the core eventually becomes a white dwarf, surrounded by a glowing shell of gas called a planetary nebula. In contrast, high-mass stars undergo a dramatic explosion known as a supernova, during which they release an immense amount of energy and generate heavy elements. White dwarf. A white dwarf is the remnant of a low to medium mass star after it has shed its outer layers. It is extremely dense, with the mass of the Sun compressed into a volume roughly the size of Earth. White dwarfs slowly cool down over billions of years, eventually becoming black dwarfs. Neutron star or black hole. In a high-mass star's supernova explosion, the core collapses under its own gravity. If the core mass is between 1.4 and 3 times the mass of the Sun, known as the Chandrasekhar limit, it becomes a neutron star. Neutron stars are incredibly dense and have powerful magnetic fields. If the core mass is greater than 3 times the mass of the Sun, it collapses into a singularity, creating a black hole. A region with intense gravitational pull from which no light can escape. It's worth noting that the life cycle and fate of a star depend on its mass. Less massive stars, like our Sun, have relatively peaceful life cycles, while more massive stars lead more explosive and energetic lives.